Hello, this is a public service announcement brought to you by me, Vanessa Berger, for human sexuality at MCTC, Minneapolis. So today, I want to notify the public about human trafficking in Minnesota, and more specifically, human sex trafficking in Minnesota. So, human trafficking is a human's right violation, and it involves the exploitation of a person for labor or sex. Human trafficking is both a global and a local problem. Minnesota has become a leader in the nation on its response to sex trafficking. By explaining our awareness of the various forms of trafficking and related exploitation, we can better protect victims and hold offenders accountable. Well, that's the important thing. Human trafficking occurs when a person obtains or holds another person in compelled service. Human trafficking includes both labor and sex trafficking, and anyone can be a trafficking victim. Victims and survivors come from every background, race, gender, sexual orientation, and economic status. Traffickers target individuals who, for any reason, are vulnerable and potentially more susceptible to the trafficker's manipulations and control. Factors that increase the victim's vulnerability include, but are not limited to, poverty, lack of resources, young age, race or ethnicity, history of abuse or exploitation, disability, isolation, chemical dependency, lack of support systems, lack of immigration status, feeling a crisis situation, LGBTQ identity, lack of strong labor protections, homelessness or status as a runaway, a criminal record or juvenile delinquency. And we can find sex trafficking in every community, all sizes, and in a variety of industries and places, including domestic service, commercial sex industry. You can find it in criminal activity, in restaurants and bars, carnivals, social media, schools, shelters, libraries, bus stops, group homes, and border crossings. So, why is this important in Minnesota? Well, first of all, it's important because we need to stand up for these people and we need to identify that they are victims. So, Minnesota came up with this law called the Safe Harbor Law, and basically it excludes the sexually exploited youth under 18 from the definition of delinquent child. It adds the definition of sexually exploited youth into Minnesota's child protection codes. It increases the penalties against commercial sex abusers or purchasers of trafficking victims. That's big. If we can stop the people that are trying to advertise it and make money off of it, and people that are trying to buy these sex workers, then I think we can solve the problem, make a big dent in changing it. And let's see. So the Safe Harbor Law clearly identifies that youth who engage in prostitution are no longer criminals, rather victims of sexual exploitation, and they need services. The No Wrong Door model implements safe harbors, and it's comprehensive, multidisciplinary, and state agency that provides responding commercially sexually exploited minors. And they also help adults too. I remember during the Super Bowl that was here in Minneapolis, there was this organization set aside specific homes, shelters, and even I think they were doing some hotels and things like that, resources for women and their children or families that are feeling like they needed to do some sex trafficking to have a safe place to go. So I visited the Advocates for Human Rights in downtown, and I got some resources. So they have been around for 30 years, and They review, analyze, and comment on laws around the world. They use time-proven methodology to monitor domestic violence and laws, conduct advocacy and shadow reporting in the United Nations through the consultative status. They monitor, document, and publish authoritative reports and dig deep in the violence against women. Train systems actors, including the police, prosecutors, and judges, and they work with law firms to provide pro bono legal services and advice. And a way to get involved is you can volunteer, become an intern, or interpret or a translator. You can volunteer for professional services, provide office support, volunteer at the state fair, sign up for monthly newsletters, and just help educate the community about this problem. So let's stop the violence, not only against women, but violence against anyone who has been a victim of sex trafficking. And I think this is a really great resource. Good people doing good things. Thank you.